some of today's front pages for you. And the Telegraph leading on the resignation of one of Boris Johnson's most senior advisers, Lee Cain. The paper says Mr Cain lost a highly public power struggle with the Prime Minister's fiancée, Carrie Symonds, who was reportedly uncomfortable with his planned appointment as Chief of Staff.
Now, The Times has the same lead story. It says that Lee Cain's departure could signal the end of the Vote Leave faction in Downing Street. It also has a picture of a veteran at the cenotaph during yesterday's armistice commemorations.
Let's have a look at the Daily Mail. Has a striking image which shows a woman kneeling in the street for a socially distanced visit to her husband, who is in a care home. The paper is campaigning for ministers to change the rules and restore proper visiting access in time for Christmas.
And the Metro has a punchy headline: Van-Tam, jab for ma'am. I haven't seen that one, sorry. That's about Professor Jonathan Van-Tam, who's England's Deputy Chief Medical Officer, of course, who says he is so confident in the safety of the COVID vaccine that he's encouraging his 78-year-old mother to take it as soon as it is licensed and available.
It's what he called the mum test, isn't it? Would you ask your mum
yeah.
to do what you're telling the public to do?
He was also talking about, wasn't he, about how much time he might not be able to be home for the weekend. He gave quite a bit of his personal life. I was listening to a newscast about this and saying that over the Christmas period, over December, he's going to be helping administer the vaccines if they're available. So he's already warned his children as well that he won't be at home as much because, as many GPs will find out later, are planning to be very busy over the coming weeks.
Yeah, chatting to one of our GPs who speak regularly to at 6:30 this morning, so that's in just a few minutes' time.
How long have we got? We've got 2.5 minutes. How long do you want to do your thing? Because it's tickled you this morning.
No, this story, you might have seen a little bit of this story already. This is a new film that's being released, actually not yet in the UK, being released in the US. It's called Wild Mountain Time, new Hollywood film, and you can see here, Jamie Dornan and Emily Blunt. It's set in Ireland, and there have been questions asked about some of the accents involved, and I think, am I right in saying we can hear a little bit of it now?
Rosemary Muldoon. Yeah! We sought it with love.
There's these green fields, and there's us. Whatever that is, it holds me here.
Oh, when he says those things.
It's not normal.
I don't care.
You take after John Kelly, and that man was mad as the full moon. Drowned himself.
He fell in.
He had a rock tied to his neck.
Rosemary, we're known to each other quite a while now. Would you marry me?
So you maybe get a sense of it there. Now,
hold on, wait a minute. So there's an argument about, there's a row, is there, over whether or not the accents are good?
This is the thing.
OK.
This is the thing. So in amongst some of the comments, so a lot of people have seen the trailer, because that's obviously the trailer. This is one of my favourites. This is from the National Leprechaun Museum of Ireland, who've said, even we think this is a bit much, is what they've tweeted.
Have the leprechauns said it's not good?
Apparently that's their official spokesperson organisation. It then goes on to talk about Emily Blunt was asked about this. She and Jamie Dornan did a joint press conference with People magazine. This is Jamie Dornan, as people may know, is from Northern Ireland, so he's from about 120 miles away. So, in theory, people are saying that his accent should be good. And they were asked about this, and he said, I'm actually about 120 miles away from where the movie is set. So it was definitely easier for me. But he said she was amazing. Emily Blunt's quote is, she found it tougher than Dornan. He assured me that I sounded Irish, and I'm going to believe him. So if he's wrong, I'm going to blame him for any backlash on my accent.
Yeah.
But it's really got people talking, and it's also got people talking about the worst accents in movie history. A lot of them Irish. People saying a lot of problems with
it's a difficult one.
Tom Cruise, by all accounts, is right at the top of the list, far and away.
Yeah.
1992. Sean Connery gets a mention in The Untouchables. Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins, that's slightly different, isn't it?
Common one,
Pierce Brosnan as well, apparently, even though he was also from Ireland, was in a film called Taffin. Regarded, it says here, as one of the worst ever on film. And then Brad Pitt in Snatch. I don't know if you remember that film in the year 2000.
Do, yeah.
Pitt's performance as an Irish traveller was said by one critic to be unintelligible. He claimed to have based his accent on a character from Father Ted.
Why wouldn't you? No one's complained about the accents in Father Ted.
No.
To be fair.
At a time when 96-year-old Kenneth Meredith moved into a care home 5 weeks ago, his wife Betty missed him so much she felt like she couldn't live without him. The couple didn't know when they'd see each other again because of coronavirus restrictions. So Betty, who is 91, surprised Kenneth by moving into the care home to be with him. And what you're seeing there is the moment the pair were reunited. This is the Bourneview Care Home in Birmingham, and the pictures you can see captured by their granddaughter, and you can see Kenneth, who has dementia, came through the door in his Zimmer frame before bursting into tears. He sees his wife sitting at a table. The table you can see is decorated specially, heart-shaped balloons and roses by the care home staff. What a very special moment that was.
Oh, do you know, so many people, that's going to resonate with so many people because we have spoken, haven't we, about how many are missing. You just have to look at the papers. How many people are missing touching their loved ones, hugging, being able to speak to them. In certain care homes, there are certain rooms and you're divided. And you see there Kenneth and Betty coming back together. It is lovely.
And I know that in amongst all these very difficult times, the people who run the care homes are doing everything they can to try and help those situations. But yeah, lovely to see those images. Thank you to the family for passing those on.
It was the granddaughter, wasn't it? Yeah, granddaughter who caught that. I didn't catch her name, but yeah, thank you very much for passing that on. And I'm glad that Betty and Kenneth are together.